Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
My happiness is a direct reflection of the level of faith I have in the universe, or my God, however you want to look at that. Good morning. Welcome to Public House Media. Welcome to Choose to Rise. My name is Kim Meyer, and I am here with you this morning, a little lackluster in energy, but you know what? We create our own energy, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm on day 3 of this 3-day cleanse that I'm doing with my team, and it has been amazing. I feel so much better. Like I have way less TMI here maybe, but I have way less bloat. I just feel good, but I'm a little low on energy. I'm a little cold, so kind of in a tank top, but I'll be in a coat here very soon, sweatshirt. But I just wanted to say that you create your own energy. So I get to decide whether I want to stay cold, whether I want to stay, I could be like grumpy about the fact that I'm doing this cleanse and haven't had carbs or whatever, but I just am positive about it, because when I know that I am doing what I can do to have a positive day, and I know that I create my own energy, that's when I get to decide. That's when I get to figure out that, what I want to do in my life is what I get to do. I get to decide that. So when you think about the world around us, when we think about how the world functions and what's going on around us in this world, there's a lot of negativity going on. There's a lot of pessimism. There's a lot of, negative energy streaming them out. I mean, like, turn on the news. What do you hear about all the negative stuff? When you go to the coffee shop, or you go to the water cooler, or you go into the staff lounge of your teacher, like, what do you hear about? All the negative stuff. All this negative energy is just everywhere. But you have the opportunity, and maybe even the responsibility, to bring positivity and good energy to the world. And this is how we're going to do it. So I'm going to give you 4 tips today. We're going to talk about all of them. 1 is to learn to cue happiness. 2 is to find the humor. 3 is to be helpful. And 4 is to honor people. So if you want to learn more about this from more of an expert than me, you can go to brandonburchard.com and check him out there. But I'm just going to give my spin on these 4 areas and how I feel like they've really worked in my life, and how we can really kind of work forward through here. So let me just find my spot here. So when we think about all the things that are happening in our world, we have an incredible abundance of negative energy happening around us, and we have an abundance of positive energy that's inside of us. So we just have to decide which one that we want to tap into. Which area of focus do we want to have in our life to be able to create the life that we have? So how do you generate joy? How do you generate positivity in your life? How do you experience good when there's so much crap happening around you? Well, the answer is that we generate it. Just like a power plant does not have energy, it creates energy. You need to create the energy in your life that you want to have. So the one thing that, through all of this stuff, there's like 4 kind of simple secrets here that I'm going to share with you. Like, I just gave them to you. But the first one is to learn to cue happiness. You have to trigger happiness. You have to look for happiness. Let's say you go out with friends and, everyone is complaining at the table, or you're at that staff lounge, or you're, in your place where there's just negative conversation going on, right? You can change the direction of the conversation by asking a positive question, by changing the subject, by shifting energy so that you can cue happiness, cue something positive going on, and change the way that the people are going around you. Simple things like, there's a lot of negative things going on right now. Like, can we just talk about something else? What's something beautiful going on in your family right now? How are your kids? What is something that they've done lately that you're proud of? Asking those kinds of questions that cue and spawn off some beautiful things for people to talk about and reflect on the good things in their day, that will not only cue them to have more positivity in the conversation that you're having with them, but also it will help them reflect and think about the positive things and change their own energy source. Isn't that kind of cool? So you can cue the conversation of happiness, and the energy of happiness, it will just start showing up all around. So this doesn't happen by accident. Take a challenge and do it every day. Let's see what you can come up with. Let's see what you can accomplish in your world today, in your world around you today, by changing the subject. Sometimes humor is a good thing to put into play. Sometimes, not making fun of people, but like, poking fun at something else, like poking fun at yourself or poking fun at a situation beyond you guys, so that you can find some humor or crack a joke, but bring happiness and joy to the conversation, and turning the conversation from negative to positive. Okay, the second one is humor. Okay, bring a little humor to this situation. A lot of people don't necessarily know how to tell a joke, but sometimes that's the funny part. Sometimes humor is hard, but if you use humor, crack a joke, make something funny, do what you need to do, but find humor in the space you're in. You don't have to make fun of anyone that's around you. Like I said, I personally, I don't like to make fun of people, but if you feel comfortable doing it, find some humor in the situation. Take that positive spin, like I just talked about, in the negative light, and make a funny about it. You know what, guys, I'm sorry, I have noticed this funny picture over there. It just looks like it's staring at me. Like, just change the conversation. Or have you noticed that there's a bunch of really weird people looking around here? Have you noticed that there's just something about certain whatever it might be? Kids say the darndest things, and you can really kind of turn something over those things around as well. When think of something funny before you sit down. Maybe think of something that you've learned about recently, or joke that you've had. So have something kind of prepared, so that when something happens, you can start putting something in. When someone starts complaining, you know what? You can say, hey, you know what? And then tell your joke. Or you can say, hey, you know what? And tell your funny story, something that your kid said, or that something was funny that you observed, or there's something that was good going on. Spin the positivity around. Okay. Now the third one is, bring the joy can sometimes feel like being helpful. A lot of people feel alone in this world, and people are complaining here or complaining there. You can take that moment and just make it a happy one. Joy doesn't have to be happy, 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 joy, 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 joy all the time. It doesn't have to be like people dancing and people are also kind of crazy excited all the time. It can really just be, bringing joy can be being a helpful hand. Number 3 was being helpful to people. You can, bring joy to someone by literally, opening a door for someone, or saying thank you, or, doing something that is helpful, anytime that it's going to give them some ease, or you're going to be able to support that person, that brings joy. So I know it's sometimes difficult to help others out in a weird situation, like if you're on the street, a stranger maybe, but anytime that you can bring some help to somebody, then you can definitely bring joy in their life, and it will give you joy in your life too. You'll be surprised at how much joy you have in your life by doing something for someone else. The last one I'll tell you is bringing the joy is so easy to do, is because most people don't feel appreciated, and they don't feel seen or heard or validated. So one of the easiest ways to bring joy in the situation is to honor people, to honor them, to say thank you, to give a compliment, to be specific and sincere in what it is that you're thankful for them for. So when it's time to go to bed, some of the things that I'll say to my kids are, I really appreciate that you were super helpful tonight picking up the dishes. I really appreciate that you were helpful with the dog tonight when we were putting her away. I'm really appreciative that you did your homework right away when we got home, so we didn't have to worry about it later. I really appreciate that, my husband made dinner last night, and that, he helped out with the dishes. I really appreciate, when you can find very specific things, not just thanks for being a good kid, or thanks for your dinner tonight, being very specific on what it is that you love and appreciate about that person, and then honoring the things that you want to see again in that situation, especially if it's a parenting thing, really helps with bringing joy to yourself and bringing joy to others, because everyone likes to be complimented. So I hope some of these ideas help you in your experience today. I hope they help you find some ideas to bring more joy to your own life and bring joy to other people's life, and that you can connect to the positivity that's in your world and connect to the things that are happening within your heart and your mind, so that everyone around you can be positive as well. We have enough negativity floating around in our world. And when you can create your own energy, when you can create your own positivity, and you can help shine that light on other people, it's just a blessing to you and to everyone else. So when we can shine our bright lights out, the negativity will just have to go away, because, light is the opposite of darkness. So if we can bring more light to the world, if we can shine our light a little bit brighter, I know the world and us will all have a bigger benefit. So if you have other ideas of how you can shine your light and how you can bring more positivity, how you can create your own energy, please drop them below. And I hope to see you back here on Friday when we are back with Giving Grace here on Public House Media. So thanks so much for joining me. If you would love, I would love for you to share this podcast, share this social media, send it out to at least 3 people that you know that would love to hear about this as well. And if you're in Apple, I would love to hear a rating or review. It just helps more people find us and get connected to Choose to Rise. So thanks so much for joining this morning, and I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous day. Bye.